the biggest concern we should have about Ghanaian football is if we decide to intentionally invest our time and resources in it, by akoda. Because me share proud to this particular game. Government is involved. Gauka is involved. FA and Penny 4 is involved. Every single stakeholder, including supporters, is involved. Fancy. So look at the proper organization we had yesterday for one-off game. Now, this same energy to come together and make our league better, no? It's me, I am a bro, so. Because yetianum na Ashanti Regional Minister ni Kumasi me okoshe but say go bia $200. Yeah. Meboa. Ana Greater Accra Regional Minister. Yeah. So koshe bo. Say go bia so $1,000. Meboa. Now look at Omumi. There's a certain picture on the internet. Minya kamisabe kapa. Now me say Madam Honorable Linda Oklu. E dey say Dr. Franco Amakon ni so onunye. Aburo stadium ono. Na Dr. Franco Amakon yede she Kotoko jersey. Ana Madam Linda Oklu so she Heart to Folk jersey. So you could see say the enthusiasm and the attention given to the game from these things, you know. I think it's high time our regional ministers pay close attention in developing the various regions, clubs, and supporting them and pushing them. Fancy, because if they are involved, there are people who will come and watch games. If they are involved, they will find ways to commit in terms of finances. Because obayana problem fancy. If you are not closer to the problem, you can't find out this kind of solution about media boy. It's an idea we to screen so in terms of Asema Ashanti Regional Minister. But I'm so impressed with organization. I'm so impressed with the president's presence and also the buy. You look at the timing of BB Omoye and MCC so any crowd they buy anyhow atmosphere no free. Fancy, everyone was literally happy about yesterday's game. This is a standard they look and say Gaka mona mulidi e clubs no madaroma yesremo enye Gaka president cup nkwa na enye Gaka top 4 nkwa. We are begging you. The same energy ni adwen amode aboa organizations no. Ye from nye nyina ye committee. The sports minister, the regional ministers keep a close eye on those who are handling our football. Minim say FIFA emma won kwai say obi interfere. By keeping a close eye meaning you can support them anyway anyhow and also put them on the right track when they need be. Because a game near far, Obia enjoy. Game near da, Obia in the bush be diaba. And I'm happy say Enyoma Akwaku say for Gaka President Cup. May hear how they are going to deal with the Gaka top 4. If they are going to play. And I think I did so a boa match we pass here the timing. The timing
later almost push the
5 p.m. near the arrival and near there. But the timing of your friend said day no much you know. Because normally it's a Republic Day in the 1st July and it's Wednesday, right? Osha nipa wo kromo mo be adwuma nti uka say ubie kra na nipa do say na be pon adwuma at Wednesday na timi aba. Now they wait Friday a holiday meboa. Obi anko adwuma Friday, obi anko adwuma Saturday, otifie kwa Sunday they will come. So the timing of such games and a lot of things. Me and my grandpa have a strong discussion with some key players or motutu kwa but other countries with how omo league no omo time in the bibi memo ya how omo born and there. Then you could see the ideas that were coming out. We can do better with our league and get many people to watch as much as possible. Let me give them 8/10 in terms of Gaka with contribution of my government, 8/10 with their contribution, especially with regional ministers involved, a lot of things. We can do well with Ghana football. Yenye we nye famboa no be a huntimi high no fancy.
Okay.
Makado nejina ono.
Well, my member Newton when I Newton fan call a board no so na share game no enra. Asante Koroko ekwawe from a go down ko share House of Folk 2-1. And no a game and so about so new say be fan day.
Yeah, we be able to pa. Okay. Be able to. My voice what eba.
Be able.
Dem dey no. Yeah, ba no pa na akomia kase mi mamenka bi mamenka asem no bi la akomia den dey kind of camera menka dey no camera nim oh no say adwuma yeah football adwuma and each and every time bia no you share your opinions but the to the bia yeah na o share situation be see field no so a o share your opinion it becomes very difficult some position na me gyina se see you know na ya asemi American ni tietia ne tenten na say offside no see nra no ya enka discussion on it
sir has the
yeah
they has good by now referee over
the marginality of the situation, you know, I really want to put myself out there. Yeah, very difficult to authenticate say ball where you say very tight. You know say your software is baby, but it's tough. And
I mean, picture from the time and I play and I keyboard say you fan from time I keyboard yako. Now me so omo ye fa hoti no so drum line no masa be control lines control lines which me drum line is no draw the fella go shame
yeah cause it on the TV see na oba the second trophy and Saka for Krobia and coach Zito adwuma bebre asese oye ho adwuma Krobia to make the team very formidable. Next season Kotoko bought 3 different competitions. Am I ready? Yeah, now your recruitment will be Africa. We forget say we have other 2 domestic competitions. Because so did Juma now yeah in the first half no and I'm a lot of hope. Me tournament church of technical reporting in I had second half no be changing what I was trying to put across, but Didi in fact he has to be given a lot of time. He has to be given a lot of time. Did you in the first half? Now, when your team implodes, yeah, now very difficult for the man. Now, away from the 2 coaches, you know, Kamara should be very, very careful. You see, Odama big club and they are the trophy the appears in China. Near the young watch, I'm Saudi Arabia. Sana football is you. Say, come on, for. Man for Gold Stars in example, for Gold Stars and I just trophy. Which one do no, but for club like Kotoko has spoken or performance in there, so it's not to become even a name dear man on crown or performance now. I want you so Kamara, one goalkeeper and the performance it has to grow. Now Eros Kakra talking about the height, the stature, how he commands in the back line and all that, you know. Kamara is doing a good job, but there's a bit of asterisk than the performance, you know. Well, your error could between United and Makofitompo and your Bobby editor. Look at this. Now, I'll check here the TV. So, wait, the basic error Kamara and TV they fear for no year, because maybe I'm in graphic in free no. But the chalk I come you I say it was 4, but the contest is that
Tompotra halfway line now, Marshall.
Only she born no.
Na game Nankasa crown a day no mu na say visibility cry.
Yes, yeah. So o shade critically o free po num na all corner chino and or working different place or the chino call or na enhu hina kra, and before he realized no na ball no net. That was another error. In fact, the pressure eba Kotoko ne Kamara super where your boss against Heart of Lions. Yeah. Big error. Big error. Now goalkeeping department happens to be the foundation of most successful teams. Goalkeeping department, you know. Say a boss win me and fix what you dia problem about super. You can have some of the best attackers in the game, but a goalkeeping department, you know, you want fix it home true. So Kamara competing with other goalkeepers like Frederick Asare, you know, and it's true more young Kromo banner. We've all come to understand the fact that Kamara is the first choice for Krobia. Now, first choice, you know, he hasn't really won the confidence of the fans. From base, you know, omo da so omo adwenkyere say Kotoko be Africa be boy Africa be league next season free competitions we Kotoko nyamu mienu or baako a ope onyamu baako a na mienu ope. Now watch this, apart from Heart of Lions, apart from Kofitompo, this happened and Hamza Eprebo no editor net. Oh, says the career for saying the Nisagunity. Now, had a power. But there was a big communication here. It shares a career for saying the born neighbor not train hold about Kamara because he spoke to him. Or train hold and say, if Osha, this is Zach about the writer. Yes, because Kamara man shouts. A man shouts so bonum and a Kamara is so more a spilly of Eto Hamza and Nimina or the Bono to it. Now that came to my mind to say, there's Aziz Adari, one goalkeeper, Obe Pushi Kamara. Now, me must man person me can say, ma omo fa Adari metum. Now the performance and quite say 50% average be na saka say you come back to Kamara but sadia you are not confident as a coach. But as I said, between these two goalkeepers, you know, say Kamara bought for the national team, whatever level he's got into, Darius Sodru has said he's valued 125,000 euros on the transfer market. When the attackers be brain press so our the value no into a group between those two goalkeepers, you know, Kotoko make a decision as early as possible. Imagine Chelsea Francis acquire a very good player for Bechem, for Ghana national teams, you know, but on your head of Patrick Asiedu, in my opinion. On your head of Patrick Asiedu. Yes, every coach has the liberty to change and make shuffles. And when the team technically, tactically. But Francis by, you know, straight into left back, you are not allowing the guy to compete for the position, you know. Allow him to compete. Zito, just allow him to compete. Because for left back position, you know, Patrick Asiedu has been solid ever since Obaye. And even Ismat Koy and the crown, Patrick, I am not speaking in defense of Patrick Asiedu. I don't represent him. The manager, we are all talking in the context of Kotoko, a good team. And Patrick has come in a very good time. I'll be competing. My direction says Francis Baye. Na ko share the ekoso back quickly opportunity be da ya no nya chance no. But to put Francis at the left back and especially Bia Patrick Asiedu Koko boy right wing no. One, a bit me as a coach need a solution for the team. Kotoko number 7 here why Peter Midi Waka. I don't know so no. Peter right winger, but they call left. It's nice to see on a solution. The solution, according to the coach, might be Patrick Asiedu. But to what effectiveness at the left back? Me travel now we and fan support to now me Togo so I say it's still the problem now. That's what team. So Zito would have to work around something our left back position. And fifth you want to set here Juma yao. Could you set here Juma? Could you set here Juma? In my opinion, Kotoko needs a defensive midfielder or bites. Defender, dear my old body, but come on my own course. For born never seen a corner on I number 10. I say, Set is a very excellent ball distributor. But do a judge born in the afternoon. It allows the flow of the game. Excellent midfielder, but he needs a partner. And Nuntino, my direction say Hilaria double by Jumadia Makotokopa. Hilaria double for RTU for Summertex and then for Krobia. I think we're doing pompons also. In a double pivot, 1 and 2, what could you set? A bit me giant. Emmanuel Antwi, I'm like more flamboyant as number 10.
Because I know Antwi so now man for Bonabaso.
Oh yeah, Juma. Oh yeah, I mean to your partner the back of the set here. No me message by pivot 1, pivot 2. We show now we are slotting, we move you out now we are slotting. Then Emmanuel Antwi bet me anya kwan the ball no what distribute to. This guy is excellent on the ball. Hilaria Dabo is very excellent. On Mbugadi or the Bugatti and Antwi Rona Obono. He loves to have that freedom with me at the Bona Tutu. And now, but one pass me, I would want to show you that game. Shall they be or yeah, double scans, because a double scans or shall me before the arrival of the ball and when the ball got so close or Sasu look at this. He switches the pressure from the midfield to the wider zones. And I'll set it Abbott. Now watch something here. The first scan and then the second one before.
I can't really chance.
Nice. These are the micro details you look around to look for in terms of analyzing midfielders. On no certain striker and on a better more. So I am looking at something saying Fifio, so basically by Hilaria Dabo, Seth Kojo, and then Emmanuel Antwi. Or me and Sabe very solid in the 4-3-3. No, but my problem is the right winger. Peter Miduakwa and a warrior of the match and me, in my opinion, as someone Becca Fahui, a binim Benyan, but let me say this. Were very important to Kotoko right now, as in most of the players. Peter Miduakwa. For the age, for whatever stature he's built within the setup. Dr. Ogumina then buy will grab and baby do 10 to ball left in effective zone, any fafaso. But I know you're going free benkumo. Meaning said the second or third season grow. Man a long-term contract to the pay no. Maybe a captain for the crowd, you 5 for Fanny to her. Captain for you 5 for Fanny to her. And yes, that is how the game has got into.
Now they are tying it down.
What they are tying it down? What man I feel it relevant. I don't key members in your betting actually. At this time, there be enough team in the and year 2, team in the year 2, team in the year 2. You don't find anybody in terms of transition. And Peter Midu now yeah, only is half an hour when you're 18 September. Now me aduma obenya 19 years. The value of the transfer market was sort of papa. This boy.
Wow.
So Kotoko, one check na answer who no ko. Eba na saba to da say na say. They started from the scratch. But look at the kind of squad that Kotoko yesterday. Who be Jomo squad and the boys in this so. Man lunch more and we are looking for somebody. Obet me I belong to the future. Peter, now watch this go. Assist in that buy you know. Or ye free Benkuma Faso. Ya any effective zone.
Okay.
Yeah, Saka down then the no. And a coach, coach Zito, skills be no the Peter Koto, so the Patrick said you better twice, yeah. And watch Peter, one-on-one situations, he caresses the ball, manipulates a lot of the spaces around the danger zone. Yes. And the ball by inside. Now, Koredu Yadom, they do want to make a big crack. They actually Koredu Yadom. They said they make Peter once said. So Kotoko, Emma boy in a long-term contract, $20 dollars and Fernando Basibubaji dollars square, you know, your hood. Give these guys the money, extend their contract. Money bigger role. Oh, team no na ninja. A control breach, no one kakaya kopabedi in the final third. A dear Bakwa Kotoko any year the partnership between a better one Kwampuku.
I bet no hard. You no one that say because I say Osasi be crowd because a player back on in a bar. Woman who has shine pa better more because onyina faako.
The one thing. The one thing. Now on the Kwampuku partnership no a fire. Africa no Kotoko fans and any budget 2 players 20. If they can feed them more, of course, Mahu, the chemistry, the rhythm between the 2 players. But one game, I think Adriana, I bet I'm shoot here. Kwampuku shoot here. I bet I'm going to share. No. Catch the guy to talk about microphone. Say, oh, mass of what here. And I'm not sure pass, not the man, no.
Yeah.
Look at that pass.
Before now, when the Kenya first half, no, born now. It must suma the coin.
Yes.
Who tears what has different and I'm say pan or faquero. He had options. A woman say the also kill bono. But I say he went for pan. And when them say second half we or answer be pass because we go for glory.
Okobobonade. Anga no kodi e okobobonade. And yaw, wait, it reminds me something. This is not the first time I have to focus consider from a long ball situation. Wait, Nick Kevin Osasi be the no kai. Kumase. Somebody free keeper no hoba. Now you send the ball straight into the opposition box. As for box, you know. How to be clean around the box about a problem there, my house of similar situation couldn't do yadom. Menyandru couldn't do yadom, so they do mukeke. So it was the second time me Yahusa back on me show quite kakra. See the time of Justice Blair and Chekra or now Bobby of Fifio 1-2 Sunday long ball. Now Didi would have to work around that because defense way no. And it takes a problem to buy. No, but there it will be hooved into your half. But how to deal with it? Or ma kwam poku man pressure when I choose na Sheriff Shaib AP by also about you know. And I bet ball now slide that square pass but 2 box in minute there. Or yeah the pa.
It was the first one. Yeah, Albert boss abona but upon frane. Etimi a shadow kwam poku kakra. Or bonier pa bet bonier pa na tapping. The accuracy, the weight of the pass, solid, but upon Frane did a very good or the weight kakra to Kwampuku. It's mama na good ball now Fantonet.
Wait, pressure now be on the man couldn't do yadoma. Want me and survive now. And they said I kind of credu as a bottom. Yeah, watch this situation. The same long ball, no. Kumasidian, the same long ball. The same long ball situation. Where's so I bet in the fire. I bet in the fire ball. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no one. Anything I make Africa, you need such striker. You need one ball boss into the position third. I mean, similar thing. So whenever there's an error, or my error, no, you feel the punishment of the error. No, but far ball now quickly. Oh boy, yeah, quite quickly now. She has to folk goalkeeping departments, you know. Benjamin Asari, it looks a bit light. She said, Krobia, Kwakofa, Aziz Dari, became first choice. What number Kamara home? Benjamin Asari ni honma, then Sharif Shaib. Me move Sharif Abam, but this is a big occasion, yaw. Who will not at all who be game no free bench by no. Who bet home at the power. So without Benjamin Asari, how is that also going to go? Season because Benjamin Asari is now a national team product too. Blast away to game back. Nephew now has ball 3 games to us. So how do you go? Now from set pieces, and a judgment a bit poor. Make Sharif say a ball corner, say about free kicks. yeah ball floated balls no na the judgment and the decision making no a bit undecisive or no on with more authentication say boy me kwendie I have 100% assurance he didn't really demonstrate that level of confidence has for goalkeeper minimum say has keeper there I mean he does everything a defender into me it wasn't the case and boy a ball back from Emmanuel Antwi no before Sheriff and Iban was number one about by a ricochet off the goalpost as a PA and Catonetta Rianisa. So and I has to for goalkeeper department, you know. Yo, now home attention, but it looks as if second no Sassibedi or first choice at the man has to folk for now. For now, Sassibedi first choice. The other partner of Sassibedi and my Dumina see our children on as they say, yes, is it going to be a poor franny or bear Kunedu Yadom? Couldn't you hear them a color a ball for bars for bonus teams? Couldn't you hear them improvements in me? Who is that? Let me do a come a chia control your couldn't you hear them squad or no more boy? Watch this thing. A bit more free, and Chamberlain. Way more last. Banner free a quad brooch rubber. Look at the squad. The Bray has jump Linda Mosquad, Linda, I'm trying Mosquad. So couldn't you still remain the last man? Patrick Wahe
or banner bars no because so buy in the first season say be 1 or 2 mistakes we make so function because I feel no banner at the bottom say
but 22-23
no a fine player because no form and sana has the neighbor
fancy I did not see he's good but he's not exceptional
or see and can exceptional
but House of Folk with their standard and the centre backs they will love to have in their team you need to have top because for example
because was exceptional with yeah boss matches I say a modern bono even about miscommunication bar between on a goalkeeper and Tamparu says still I'm not for Castle when you're live on the Chassis
yeah
and also
yeah
or ball first time you ball and over so it means one lifting a modern bono from
yes
that critics
yeah
that one
because the first season Mekai not criticism no but he can do more
he should
okay and that's what I say he must and he must
want to be more house of because experience champions maybe more house of
about what fast so answer and also meza one problem me na person na twem adwene ba so central defenders are made of on the ball qualities you know yeah now we struggle with that the ball kakra mo share nso Sa Jerome Boateng Piqué Dante omo ball ni pian kasa no yeah now ebu omo bre few ones say Ramos Bonucci no ni Bugatti or say ni ball but Kunedu Yadom naturally he's made up of qualities on the ball when he has the ball at his feet. It's a ball no one but ball ni kura no or struggle
has a confidence to lose possession at least if you can't tackle
I had an man warning
you didn't lose possession easily
I had an man Kunedu Yadom warning because a long ball for where's a long ball situation and a buy Kwampoku jiro energy ball no at this here. So if you allow such games to just slide under your armpits, it's just as easy as that. Yo, how's now boy yo?
I heard your power from the two.
How's the folk no power from the crowd chama me. Upon what check
no both six who can face a boy as a centre back.
Very versatile.
And also the two kwan. And wasaba. Ono kan was anko establishing the place with team we say Mukreja Yadom.
A new coach. So didn't Susan sure say or better not say because
no power from was splendid. About no so free bench buy
upon by Juma yeah Hamza Issa would probably take my last pick one was someone me kafa Peter Midu hono I didn't ask for Hamza Issa CCA
I honor did buy from first day or training you also on the dinko na
yeah
and I was a Mauli wayo na Hamza Issa no
only two in dinko
na no mu dinko Mauli wayo ni
yeah I didn't ask for Hamza Issa I want to listen to us fans are show na no pay dey no moye Ediama Hamza Issa. So when him say your club be in the culture in terms of the play or field and so no. Manchester we day they adore their wingers and number 7 JC no they adore it. If Okasa wo check Kotoko positions a Kotoko review ba ko pa no yaw omo central defenders. Kotoko review omo papa Kotoko 2 and 3 buy a new busani don't to tetefo no ho every club to say Madrid no. We'll be looking for who is wearing the number 7 jersey. And the yeah, who is that person? Barcelona will be asking a lot of questions about the number 10. Hamza Issa, you can number 9 has a folk a more champion position. Number 9 has a folk a more champion position. Hamza Issa is in that profile. Now me catch the club ya so mama Peter me do aqua contract or more extend or mama so has a folk should do same to Hamza Issa. For availability, who are you looking for in the market to replace him if he leaves? If he leaves, why now go for the marketing? Where so your mom demo Aras? If you found the bio, I want to blame where when I'm far or your son watching mobile and junior cab mobile and fano. Then I'm going Aras and Hamza ready. He scores, he's really dominant. He can pick balls and connect in the final third. Everything I also share in our local standard here. Hamza Issa, yeah, obey Jumane the amount. And one thing must about Hamza Issa and say positionally in the box were very instinctive. Every time we see him and move so well. But at this point, yeah, new Busa say players don't perform it, or resume performance. There's one key question I need Busa. Yeah, has a folk Hamza Issa day. Before now, the catcher said, "I'm due 18 and a contract." This boy has been consistent. When they compare seasons, now Obama has and one and the year because the first season or the second season. But why are you comparing a young player and the performances? He's growing and he grows within consistency until so reach a certain level. So then has for Hamza Issa. Mauli why you know Hamza Hono and no prayer concha you know. Wow, you has for injury record. Mauli is an experienced player, but on to be more 90 minutes. Now Hamza gives you everything. And as folk, on many nam na sa now quite say Bani a free the enemy. Now quite to say Joseph so the enemy. As a all call as a so mu. Please ask folk, do something around Hamza Issa, the contract. If here be a man and Yaje, be a man feel important, our club do it and do it now. You can analyze the last few years our joining team, you know, goals or has and quantify how many of them belong to Hamza Issa. I mean, find a pay in Israel.
Okay. May also be the bazaar say Rafael and Ponsan and the man one.
Yes, Rafael can't make it home. I'm a show time.
Okay.
Because we had new players now, my back Kotoko. Our midfield home now. At the end of Zito in the first half, wrong because Seth looked isolated in the first half. And at the introduction of Jehu, Emma Kotoko stabilized Kakra. Francis Akwa de Wakano wants him dada. But I think for those two midfielders in the situation that Kotoko just display, Francis number 1, when you're part of the team. Then Moba Benya say in team menu so Akwa Kupra. Any Rafael because Rafael capture Mumi or capture Kotoko first half.
I don't know Piapa.
Capture Munina. So dear Nazito, yeah, team be capitalize, especially with the introduction of Joe, every partner set.
Okay, new.
Yo. Oh, say first half no Messiah share game no year papa. I always say me phone issue but come here set back pick camera na me technical report match. First half no Zitoball long boss. Obi obenya bia long boss. And until na akomia ka say na arenda kojo set useless. Because set they are comfortable when the ball is low and moving up grounds. Having Emmanuel Antwi, having kojo set in midfield. Kotoko nya bona Zakaria no about the long ball. Onya na long ball come pokumrika say. I mean know your striker and feed him. Come pokumrika say. So every time, first afternoon, long boss, then I'll say, coach, a strategy or they pay go be an answer and a lineup and the distribution patterns and match maybe having players in midfielder. I'm very comfortable with the ball at their feet. Now we say one ball in the similar, especially ball no quite. Only say not did the money converted that ball 4-1-4-1 Rafael and Ponsa. And then a cook Kotoko cry in the first 4-1-4-1 no Hamza Issa no pushing Maulu ya kwa Koshenche no follow this central zones no. It was difficult for Zito. Na me pe come cross Kotoko dressing room first half net here. Yo, obesesa the heat you know I'm telling you say obegina boys no subuta. Later maybe Steven be release the conference some of the catch. Look at how many goals they buy quickly. Papa, no matter we are 10 game, you know. Everybody for BN was quiet. Zito 10 game, you know. But Margaret Chen said, Messiah, those long balls are not about the first half, you know. And also the goals to the buy, you know.
But I think for that, you know, the central zones were much more occupied in terms of leaving extra men for her to folk. For example, 4-1-4-1 now can. Anytime you're not has to folk one extra man in the middle of the park to progress. But with the introduction of Jehu, Ebe can set no money city. Then ball campo floating there ko. Neti si Kotoko etia or 2 pivot. Omujina one they will have to cover Abra Emmanuel Antwi. So Edeboa. I think that was a good change.
Zito, yes.
That was a good change.
Yeah, Rafael Ponsandi. Now last season, no. Now when you start and former coach Abubakar Watara. Now as you be will not be in command. At the time all back team no. He say your league ya boy. Open players a general distance. As Sunday body your opponent po moi. Rafael Kahon or precision or power and or technique. Rafael is a young guy. Na earlier pano na coach Abubakar Watara or bought Theophilus Collins in a diligent defense in him. So o show ya Theophilus eco pride o prefer team man Rafael Babeshemu one film bio. Last season goals were a Chagu Ghana Premier League he has one of the best goals. We 10 abe the other account. Now my problem is who partners in midfield. When any partner say Theophilus Collins in no na Rafael so be a Didi ever call for the call for wingers and then 2 strikers. What might be the formation? No, Theophilus has returned back from injuries and all, you know, and I'm about to Rafael upon. So Martin Kakari has to be sharper. I understand so free a long-term layoff being a buy any idea. He has to be more sharper. The quality, you know, I was super. But when young things you come here for us, and how I mean Martin Kakari, no, said the form of Bano and Rafael, a couple moving for yeah. On behalf for especially with the availability of Sani Mohammed now, and also Hussein Mohammed. So has for Rafael upon a quality player, but he needs a partner, and I'm sure Sadidi.